Of Terror tour. It's Ice Nine Kills, Black Veil Brides, Motionless in White. If you want to go see Streetlight Manifesto, if you remember them, I'll get you to that show. Apocalyptica is playing. So good stuff next week. Guardians will play tonight. They are in Toronto to play the Blue Jays. That starts at 7:07 right here on MMS. That's the first of three. And that'll be a good matchup. Blue Jays are a very good team this season. Tomorrow and Sunday will be afternooners, and then the Guardians will come back home to play the Tigers, who they just swept in Detroit. So that'll start up Monday. What's this guy's name? James Karinchak. James Karinchak?
Karinchak, yeah.
Karinchak is the one guy on the Guardians who's not vaccinated, so he can't go to Toronto. He was with the Lake County Captains, if memory serves. I think he was with the Rubber Ducks for a minute.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
He's the one guy on the squad who ain't going to Toronto. It's definitely a tough blow, he said, but I'm going to cheer my guys on the best I can from wherever I'm at. Never end a sentence with a preposition.
It happens all the time.
But
I was watching Cheers the other day, and Sam Malone ends a sentence with two prepositions.
Yeah.
And it's just, I can't remember exactly how it went, but it was just very funny writing on their back and forth.
That show's great.
Cheers
it's such a great show.
So well written.
It's so punchy.
Yes.
Like, just bam,
but it doesn't feel overwritten.
Right.
Like when I watch Letterkenny, I'm like, this show is so overwritten.
Unbelievably over. I can't get into it.
You can have a lot of punches like Cheers and not be...
Because there's flow to it.
Yeah.
And it's not just... I mean, Letterkenny, that's kind of the bit, is that they have certain scenes where they're just like, bam, 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 just rattling off things. But Cheers is very conversational, and it just happens within the flow of the show. Because they do a good job of putting a story in place where there's a lot of opportunities for funny jokes.
Yeah.
You know, we play the Guns N' Roses version of Live and Let Die on MMS a lot.
I like that song.
I like the song too, but it throws me off every single time. It's just a grammar nerd pet peeve of mine.
What? That it's Live and Let Die?
No, I think he says, if this ever changing world in which we live in which we live in.
Yeah.
I don't care. It grinds me every time I hear it.
Well, he probably also goes to the ATM machine. Just let it go.
Die,
Live and let die.
Now, maybe he says... Like,
in which we're living?
You might be right.
Yeah, I bet
because I've always heard it as in which we live in. But then I'm like, Paul McCartney would never write that line.
In which we're living is
in
probably...
which we're living.
I don't know. Play it.
Well, because Axl Rose makes it sound like in which we live in. But
That's
my thought has always been, Macca would never write that line. He's too good of a songwriter to do that. But again, who cares? It's just me being a dork.
I always plug my phone in whenever we get down to something like this, where I would be able to Google it. And then I'm like, well, I don't have my phone, so I'll never know. I'll never know.
There's simply no way to know.
I'll never know.
Yeah. By the way, for whoever sent me this, for people who think that Cleveland doesn't get its fair share of accolades, we are top 5 in the 10 worst airports for flight cancellations and delays.
Oh, yeah,
we did it.
It's a problem right now. Brian Kenny had to headline a show at Hilarities last week because a comic couldn't get here. Jasmine Carter was supposed to be in town for the 6th City Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
Her flight got canceled to Cleveland, and
Sucks.
it's happening a lot. They're always on edge at Hilarities right now because they are just like, at any moment, our headliner or feature could be, hey, I can't make it.
Yeah, flight got canceled.
Yeah. Take that 6 a.m. flight, man.
Yep.
It sucks, but it's the one that's never late. Always takes off.
Letter is Brian Kenny's nickname, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So number 5 in the top 10 worst. This is why they need to start putting commercial flights through Burke. Just get them through.
Or get rid of Burke.
Just get them through there.
Last week
or
you were saying,
tear
get
up
rid
Burke.
of Burke. Yeah. I sent you that Cheers clip, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Worst airport is LaGuardia, obviously. They called off 403 flights in a week.
Jeez.
Which is like 11% of their
So I don't understand why flights get canceled. Is it just because there's not enough people?
Staffing
issues, or there's just not enough people on the flight?
No, that's never the issue.
Okay.
When have you ever been on an airplane and you're like, we need more people?
It's always nuts to butts.
Well, no, that's not true. I've been on a flight.
Do you remember those days though when you could get on a flight and it
wasn't full?
Not full.
I always assume they are. I couldn't believe there was a seat next to me empty when we came back from Mexico. Could not believe it. Because you're just sitting there waiting. You're like, okay, well, somebody's going to sit there. And then they shut the door, and I'm like, oh, my God, I can't believe
10,
it.
15 years ago.
Carla is seeing a therapist. She's trying to work things out. She's trying to become the kind of waitress that you'd enjoy being waited on by.
You just ended that sentence with 2 prepositions.
Don't you have customers to deal with?
That ended with a preposition, too.
Don't you have customers to deal with, mullet head?
Shelley Long was so foxy on that show.
Was she? I feel like she
Yes.
was so stuck up that it took
That's why it was funny. But
it took me out of it.
I think she was gorgeous.
She's so mousy. I don't know. She doesn't.
That's what made it work.
Mullet head.
She
Mullet
did.
head.
I mean, she got too big for her britches and she split. But
That's what they always do.
But she didn't do anything after that.
oh, she did a lot of things. She
did
did
a lot of
movies
things,
and
yeah.
yeah,
Did
she
Bigger
did
than
things.
Cheers?
No,
That's what I mean.
no.
She's got some real pointers in this one too.
Is that when Bill?
Just the way hers.
Yeah, she looked like a cheerleader in the 50s.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What? You want to see him?
I can't. I plugged my
Here,
phone in.
look at. Look at.
I know. I watched the show. I know she doesn't wear a bra and she wears the pointy little whatevers.
She's got some.
Kirstie Alley was foxy though too when she came in.
She gained 60 pounds. Her husband stayed with her.
No, he didn't. No, and her husband is Xenu, and even he bailed.
He said, you got a few too many feetins in you.
What do you mean, eating the thetans? What's going on? Listen, I'm on record. I love the Northeast Ohio traffic blotter, police blotter. I love it, and it's the headlines. They do it right over there at the Plain Dealer. They get me with the police blotter, clickbait every time. Motorist vomits, urinates before and after traffic stop in Middleburg Heights. Congratulations. This
That's
could
so
have been.
much. How much stuff you have in you?
I'm going to read this to
drunk.
you. Yes, very much so. I'm in an alternate universe. This could have been a Mary Santora,
Well, yeah.
right?
A mere 4 years ago.
A mere 4 years ago. A blink of the eye. This is 11:15 at night. Middleburg Heights. A reckless driver in the Middleburg Heights library parking lot who had pulled over after weaving all over the road, struck a curb several times on Bagley Road before going into the parking lot. So the person who called this in flags down the cop, shows him that the car is now pulling away, trying to get out of there because he probably sees the black and white. So they turn on the lights, and he keeps driving, pulls into a private driveway, stops, cop walks up, smelled alcohol coming from the driver, wasn't wearing a seatbelt. The man, because I just like the way these are written, because they're basically just reprinting, you know what I mean? They're taking the transcription of the police report. The man's beard was dripping a liquid that covered his shirt and pants.
Dripping a liquid.
There were 2 key cards on his lap for an area motel.
So it could be dripping a liquid.
Blah. His eyes were glassy and bloodshot. He mumbled and slurred his words, telling the officer that he had a breathalyzer in his other car. You know, if I was driving my other car, I
You
would.
didn't have it when it got the key? Because that said you did not drive. So I got the key, got a Saturn, and it said, you're fine.
You see these motel keys right here? That's my other car.
Nobody stopped me. The car said fine. I don't know.
I'll
boy.
blow into it if you want, but
There's no too boy. I got straw.
Officer opened the driver's door and saw more clear liquid on the inside of the door panel. The motorist told him he had vomited. There was a large pool of liquid on the man's jeans as he had urinated on himself.
Yes.
The motorist gave the officer his work identification card and said that his license may be in his other car. He had a suspended license in South Carolina, but no license in Ohio. Come here from out of town and drunk drive our streets, you son of a bitch. The officer had found an open 375 milliliter bottle of vodka in the car that was almost empty. Is that big?
That's half a regular bottle.
Half of a regular
So
bottle.
picture a bottle of Tito's, half of that.
It's like a fifth, right? Is that what they call
Yeah.
it?
Okay. The driver said he did not drink the vodka and that it was water that was spilled on him. The officer did not see any water bottles or any other containers in the car.
This is not Sriracha. When I had to drink it, but spilled it because it's carbon.
I see how it's clear. I fill it with water. It's all water. It's
Nobody
fine.
had vodka.
I didn't vomit in the door or pee
Who
my
said
pants.
it a vodka? Put a vodka in a water bottle, then do what? Puke it? No.
That's how we do at Browns games.
See, no, I've never been a peer when I was drunk. Like I
wasn't either.
I don't pee on myself. Like I pee when I'm supposed to, but like
You pee on other people? That's what I like to do.
supposed to.
no,
I
like
you.
at the most I'd get sick, but that was rare as well. It's only been a couple times.
The motorist failed field sobriety tests and was arrested. The officer smelled more urine when the suspect exited the cruiser at the police station. Jeez. So he also soiled himself in the squad car.
He's in the back. He's like, hey, good call on the plastic seats. These are going to be so easy to clean. I'm very sorry that I did this again.
You just wipe him down with a paper towel.
I have antibacterial wipes.
You needed a quicker picker-upper.
Who's hand sanitizer?
While in the booking room, the suspect told officers he had smoked more marijuana than he had drunk alcohol. He refused to take a chemical breath test. They couldn't find anyone to pick him up.
He's not supposed to be here. He's from South Carolina.
Yeah, well, I don't know, maybe he knows people. Maybe that's why he was in the area. He
Probably in town for work, went to this sleazy motel to hook up.
Yeah.
And now he's not going to call his coworkers.
Right. Hey, I went to hook up and I vomited all over myself.
Thursday night.
Yep.
Did you see the Marshawn Lynch body camera footage?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
This guy measured a .125 blood alcohol content. They just kept him in the Strongsville tank overnight. I vomited on myself and I vomited on my car. I hope that doesn't bother you.
I peed in your car, puke in my car. Everybody's car.
I just want to tell you, I will pee in every car you put me in tonight.
That's fine. Go arrest me. I'll puke in jail.
Why do you think I was in the library parking lot? I was going to go check out a book on peeing.
You think that these bars are going to stop me? Who said about the bar doesn't stop you today? I had a bar. I passed the bar. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, these bars. I just came from a bar. I love that. The man's beard was dripping a liquid that covered his shirt and pants.
Dripping a liquid is not
Yeah,
my
it's not
favorite
good.
phrase.
Nope.
I don't like that phrase.
Covered his shirt and pants, by the way. Dripping a liquid. Sir, what is that liquid? What liquid are you talking about?
You dripping.
It's very hot in here. I was drooling. I passed a store with food and I got hungry and drooled. You hear the Britney clips the Federline put out?
Oh, no.
I don't like this.
It ain't easy being a kid. Now look at what you gone done did. Whoa, it's time for Kids Corner. Kids Corner.
I think this is because Federline wants more money in child support or something? Or?
No, the kids are about to be off child support.
Oh, because I thought they were like 14 years old.
No, they're 16 and they're only like a year apart. I think that was a part of her like mental breakdown is because she probably had postpartum and she was having kids too close together. But she had 16 and then I think the other one's like 15 or getting ready to be 15.
Jaden and Preston are her two sons with Kevin Federline, and it's got to be, look, put all the stuff aside, it's got to be a nightmare having Britney Spears as your mom. Because she's trying to get herself figured out, and so I guess they used to call him K-Fed back in the day.
Why would it be a nightmare?
That's your mom
Have you
posting
heard
naked
these? Yes,
pictures
it's
on
come
Instagram.
on.
But your mom is an international pop icon.
No. Your mom is your mom. Every time they talk to a celebrity, they're like, my kids couldn't care less what I'm doing. I'm their dad. Mm-hmm. I'm not Britney Spears. I'm their mom. Mm-hmm. They're not going, oh, you can. The way she talks to him, she's like, you guys don't respect me. You don't,
Come in here when we're trying to go to bed and then you just...
This is my house. If I want to come in here and give you lotion for your face because it is coarse.
These are like years old videos when these kids were younger, but Kevin Federline's putting them out there.
I don't
because
like
he's
that.
trying to show that he's like her sons don't want to spend time with her.
That's not right.
And she says he's lying, so he's like, well, here's some videos.
Mm-hmm.
and all you tell me, no, it's fine. No, it's not fine. You all better start.
She's mad, by the way, that they didn't apply their face lotion.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I will tell you from personal experience, you don't want to sleep, pardon the pun, on your moisturizing, right? Should be a multi-tiered regimen. She's just trying to get them to grow up with fantastic skin.
And all you tell me, no, it's fine. No, it's not fine. You all better start respecting me. Are we clear?
Yeah.
And when Robin calls, and even Robin's a kid, she goes, what have you been doing to your kids? You all need to start treating me like a woman with worth. I am a woman, okay? Be nice to me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a kid, that's all therapy talk. But if you're a kid, you're like, okay.
Where's her?
That's not how you talk to your kids.
Where's
is
her
what I'm
Britney
saying.
Spears voice? Hey guys, like her baby voice. That's all over her Instagram.
She's
You
a
know what I'm talking
mom.
about?
She's not. I mean, you put on a voice when you're talking to your kids. There's another video where they were in the car and she was calling out her older son, calling him weird for going through puberty and not wearing his shoes. Isn't she naked and everything? Like
spinning and naked.
And not wearing shoes in a store, I guess.
Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? I do care, but I'm shocked as with you. And I don't know what to do. And I'm scared of you because you're weird, because you're going through puberty. I don't know what to say. But I do care more than you know.
All right, I relate to
But
this.
don't be, my little body can't handle all of that. There's like sometimes I just don't even know what to say with you. I was in shock. And I do care.
Like you have to parent your mom rather than the. She's trying to do the other way around, but.
No, you don't. Literally.
I was in shock in the store when I looked down and Jaden, how are you so cool about that? Your brother being with Baron's big feet, size 13 now?
Well, he's my brother.
And all the more exposed, his feet, your blood in an ice cream shop in Alaska weather? Don't you think that's a little odd?
No.
Yeah, I think your phone should be gone.
Okay.
Yeah, for a very long time.
Yeah. For not wearing shoes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My phone's just gonna be taken away forever. Cause you know what, Jaden? Mom decides to take it away for me not wearing shoes.
So
these kids are dicks. I don't like them.
Every kid is a dick when he's going through puberty.
Even when they're not.
Boys and girls. My ex-wife and I were waiting for the bomb to go off with our daughter.
Also, Poundcake.
She just turned 18, and she's been
Pretty cool.
pretty cool the whole way through. She's just a sweetheart. But we were like, that bomb's going to go off at some point because she's a teenage girl.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been, obviously, I'm not there all the time. And so there's been some of that with her and her mom. But for the most part, that's why I get a little worried about college. Because I know how I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was a good kid, and I got to college, and I wowed it out.
Well, yeah.
Not
and
in
you
the
didn't even go that crazy. 'Cause
No.
You didn't even
But I
start
was
drinking until later.
Well, I don't mean that. Like, I was putting it in everything that looked at me.
Well, you should.
That's what college is for.
Well,
My 10-year-old niece.
not for my 18-year-old daughter, it's not.
My 10-year-old niece is getting real
Shut up,
sassy.
Bill.
She's getting real sassy, and both me and my sister just look at each other. We're
She's
like,
been sassy, and she's getting next
now
level.
she's getting like already at 10.
Yeah.
She's getting like teenage sass,
Yeah.
and we're like, she better get her period soon because this is what that's all leading up to, man. My sister's like, I can't do this for the next 8 years. Like, she's got an attitude.
That's how my oldest was, and she was just always wanted to grow up so fast, and like just, and now like when I have conversations with her, and she's so level headed now. I'm like, do you realize? And she'll talk about things that she did, and be like, I can't believe kids these days will do. I'm like, do you understand who you were?
Right.
Do you understand what a nightmare it was just trying to get you to do anything because you thought you had everything figured out? And she's like, I wasn't that bad. I'm like, you were that bad. And
And
she's like,
it's hard enough with level-headed parents, let alone when Britney Spears is your mom,
Yeah.
and she's got her own stuff going on.
Say hello to my ass.
I've got to take a break. 5 o'clock, I will have the last keyword of the week. We'll do it again next week, but the last keyword of the week to get you to Vegas, you and a friend, for the iHeartRadio Music Festival, which is a few weeks away out there at the T-Mobile